Welcome to our PHP Date and Time tutorial video. In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating world of handling dates and times in PHP. Dates and times are crucial aspects of programming, used in a wide range of applications from scheduling tasks to displaying events on websites. Understanding how PHP manages dates and times, from formatting to time zone handling, is essential for creating dynamic and accurate web applications. So let's explore the powerful features of PHP's date and time functions together and master the art of managing temporal data effectively in our projects. The PHP date function is a powerful tool used for formatting timestamps into readable date and time formats within PHP scripts. It provides a straightforward way to manipulate dates and times according to specified formats. Below is a detailed breakdown of the date function's usage, syntax, parameters, and examples. The syntax for the date function is as follows. Here, the format parameter specifies the format of the outputted date string. The timestamp parameter, which comes after the format, is an optional parameter representing the Unix timestamp. If not provided, the current timestamp, obtained by calling the time function, is used. The date function's format parameter determines how the date or time should be formatted. Commonly used format characters include D represents the day of the month from 1 to 31, M represents the month from 1 to 12, Y represents the year in 4 digits, for example, 2024. L, lowercase l, represents the day of the week, for example, Monday, Tuesday, etc. Additional characters like slash or dash can be used between format characters to add separators or additional formatting. Now let's try an example. In this example, we are going to obtain the date in various formats. By using different format strings like we did in this example within the date function, you can customize the output to suit your specific date and time formatting requirements. Now let's shift our focus to the next topic, automatic copyright year update using PHP date function. You can use the date function in PHP to automatically update the copyright year on your website. This is commonly done in footers or legal notices to ensure that the copyright year always reflects the current year. Let's try another example to understand this better. In this example is the HTML entity for the copyright symbol. The PHP code here dynamically generates the current year using the date function with the format specifier Y, which represents the year in 4 digits. Now let's discuss how to get a time using the date function. The date function can also be used to get the current time in various formats. Here are some commonly used format characters for times. Uppercase H represents the hour in 24-hour format from 0 to 23. Lowercase h represents the hour in 12-hour format with leading zeros from 01 to 12. I represents the minutes with leading zeros from 00 to 59. S represents the seconds with leading zeros from 00 to 59. A represents lowercase antimeridiem, AM, or postmeridiem, PM. Now let's discuss how to obtain the current time using PHP's date function. Next, we will discuss getting the time zone. To ensure the accuracy of the time displayed by your PHP code, especially when dealing with different time zones, you can set the desired time zone using the date default time zone set function. This helps in getting the correct time according to the specified location. Here's an example that sets the time zone to Americas, New York, and then outputs the current time. In this code snippet, date default time zone set America, New York ensures that the time retrieved by the date function is based on the Eastern Time Zone, ET, which is UTC-5 or UTC-4 depending on daylight saving time. Adjust the time zone string as per your requirements to get accurate time information for the desired location. As we discussed before, the date function in PHP includes an optional parameter for specifying a timestamp. If this parameter is omitted, the current date and time are used by default, as demonstrated in the examples provided earlier. PHP also provides the MKTime function, which generates a Unix timestamp based on specific date and time components. The Unix timestamp represents the number of seconds elapsed between the Unix epoch, January 1st, 1970 00 GMT, and the specified time. The MKTime function in PHP is used to create a Unix timestamp based on specific date and time components. It takes in parameters such as the hour, minute, second, month, day, and year, and returns a Unix timestamp representing the specified time. This timestamp represents the number of seconds that have elapsed since the Unix epoch, January 1st, 1970, GMT, until the specified time. The MKTime function is useful for generating timestamps for custom dates and times within PHP scripts. If I explain again about Unix timestamps, a Unix timestamp is a numeric value that represents the number of seconds that have passed since the Unix epoch. The Unix epoch is defined as January 1st, 1970 at 00 GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Unix timestamps are commonly used in computing to record and calculate time intervals, as they provide a standardized way to represent time across different systems and programming languages. The following example demonstrates how to create a date and time using the date function by passing parameters obtained from the MKTime function. In this example, MKTime 10/30/03/2024 creates a Unix timestamp for March 20th, 2024 at 10:30 a.m., which is then formatted using the date function and displayed as 2024-0320 10:30. Next, we will talk about the strtotime function. The primary purpose of strtotime is to take a date string in a readable format and convert it into a Unix timestamp. It can handle various date formats and understands many common expressions used to specify dates and times. For example, next Monday represents the next occurrence of Monday. Plus 1 week represents 1 week from the current date. Last day of February represents the last day of February in the current year. 2024-03-1030 represents a specific date and time in the format YYYMMSS. Now let's try some examples. Now, I think that you have got a really good understanding about PHP date and time. Therefore, I'd like to challenge you with an activity that will make you revise what you have learned in this video. The challenge is, write a PHP code that outputs all the next 6 Mondays. I request you to pause the video and give it a try. This PHP code generates a list of dates starting from the next upcoming Saturday and continuing for 6 weeks. Let's break down what each part of the code does. This line sets the initial start date to the next upcoming Saturday. As we discussed before, strtotime is a PHP function that converts a human-readable date-time string into a Unix timestamp. In this case, Saturday is used as the input, so it finds the timestamp for the next Saturday from the current date. Next, the following line calculates the end date by adding 6 weeks to the start date. The strtotime function is again used here to add a time interval to a given timestamp. The second argument specifies the base timestamp from which the interval should be added, which is the variable start date in this case. And this is a while loop that runs as long as the start date is less than the end date. The loop will continue until the 6-week period is completed. This increments the variable start date by 1 week in each iteration of the loop. It uses the string-to-time function to add a week to the current timestamp, effectively moving to the next week Saturday. So when you run this code, it will output a list of dates starting from the next Saturday and continuing for 6 weeks. And if you like more challenges, these challenges are for you. In my next video, I will be discussing these challenges. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next video.